It is my honor and my joy, no pressure, to introduce to you a distinguished scholar, a PhD from Harvard, the charismatic founding rector of the Ukrainian Catholic University, who is now the university's president. In the Greek Catholic Church, he has risen to the rank of eparch in Paris for Ukrainians in France, Benelux, and Switzerland. Please, speak to us now, Bishop Gudziak.
Dear friends, these are amazing days here in Lviv. Приветствую всех друзей из России, всех русских. Нехай живе Беларусь. За вольность нашу и вашу. Дорогі браті і сестри, щиро вас вітаю. This assembly in this place with these friends and organizations is an incredible accomplishment. We've gathered here experts in different fields. Experts in different fields have gathered each other. The program of the convention gives so many opportunities for the inquisitive mind. Great topics, penetrating speakers. In the 21st century, like never before in human history, people have been confronted with, faced with so many impulses, stimuli, so much information, and so many contrasting, potentially complementary visions and worldviews. People are overloaded with information. Our knowledge is often fragmented. We get lost in many fields. There's even a new type of anxiety that I understand has been identified. FOMO. Fear of missing out on some of this information, which compels us to begin and end the day with our little screens. And at the same time, living with this fragmentation, we yearn for an integrity, for a wholeness, spiritual, intellectual, psychological, social, personal. There's a great coming together here. This is a long road that we've traveled together. And we've come in order to set sights on the road ahead. It's good to know where we are. And this city is the proximate context, but also a symbolic sign of what we have lived together. Today, Lviv is packed. I hope you get a chance to see the city. In the evenings between the cafes, it's hard to pass people in the streets because there's so much effervescent energy. It's a nice long summer weekend. There's an incredible jazz festival going on. As we convene at this moment, an outstanding exhibit is being opened on probably the most famous, the best Ukrainian film, Тіні забутих предків. I encourage you to go see this reinterpretation of that 1964 classic. Walking around town, having a beer with vareniki, drinking coffee with Viennese-style pastries, one might not see the deep scars. In 1939, this city had about 300,000 people. In 1945, 46, maybe 60,000 of them were left here. 100,000 Jews were exterminated. Approximately 100,000 Poles were deported, and they were accompanied by virtually the entire Armenian community that had lived here for 700 years. The 18% of Ukrainians, about 60,000, were decimated. Lviv was like a jewel box of riches, a beautiful box that was emptied of its human vitality, then set back as a jewel box and filled with new content. Today there's over 800,000 people here. 600,000 Ukrainians. And we have small remnants of vibrant past communities. Remnants which are themselves, again, quite vibrant. At the same time, we had a city which, along with maybe Baltic capitals, maybe at one time or another Belarusian and Ukrainian cities, which had an incredible concentration of KGB agents. The saying around here is that every seventh person was informing, not only on neighbors or enemies, personal ones or those of the state, but maybe on a husband or wife, or following the model of Pavlik Morozov on parents, because all of our cities had the Вулиця Павліка Морозова. We know this. We know that Lviv and the cities of Ukraine and Belarus and other lands dominated by totalitarianism had a harrowing past, which led people to live carefully, put on a mask, build up a facade, set up a wall. The system killed systematically, so you protect yourself from all systems. The devastation of national, cultural, intellectual life, the attempt to remake the human person in human society, the control over family life, reproduction, thought processes, the reflexes of the soul, lasted for decades and generations. And we're on the move. Here in this city, in this community which you represent, in this country, we're on a pilgrimage from fear to dignity, in which scholarship, critical and creative reflection plays a seminal role. At this university, in a country that had many universities, we had a unique opportunity. In 1992, we had nothing, which is a great chance, because when you have nothing to lose. And so we could be free. And the question is, and was, and will remain for some time, how do people in the humanities help human beings live a full human life? How to get away from the fear and drop the masks and walls in interpersonal relations so that the person can fully flourish, physically, spiritually, psychologically, intellectually. We dream big. And we're very grateful for all those who dreamed and walked with us and invited us onto this journey. There's little things, concrete things that we experimented with. You might see present here mentally handicapped people. Because we were looking for ways to create trust and saw that our friends with special needs have special gifts. In an academic community, sometimes you need people that are not fixated on your bibliography. And don't know if you're rector or schmecter, or rich or poor, bishop or brother, and just with their whole being ask, can you love me? So in a post-genocidal society, we invited those most marginalized from the university into its very heart, because they pose the most important pedagogical question. With a band of bold brothers and sisters, we went ahead, trying to create a center of learning that is open, welcoming, and loyal to its religious roots and Eastern Catholic traditions, which brought our fathers through the darkness of totalitarianism. So we built on the martyrs and the marginalized, those who stood up to the greatest challenge of the 20th century, and those who help heal its scars. Humanities are in the heart of our endeavor, because scholars in the humanities and social sciences have a vital role to play in tracing the paths that have brought us to today. Today at this convention, we have an opportunity to sum up the path that we have traveled together and to boldly go forward. In 1998, I personally and many of my colleagues at the Ukrainian Catholic University, along with many others in Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, were invited by Andrzej Tymovsky to participate in a new initiative, the Humanities Program in Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine. The initiative was financially supported by the Carnegie Corporation in New York. It was brilliantly conceived as a series of annual competitions for grants for humanities scholars in those three countries. The funds distributed to individuals came at a critical moment, when the region had been crushed by the collapse of the ruble and the hryvnia. Grants to historians, literature scholars, linguists, art historians, and other humanists sustained them as they continued their research, writing, and teaching. Without these grants, many of them, many of us, would have emigrated or left the university for more lucrative positions in business or in other professional fields. The humanities program in Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine did more than pump money into the humanities. It created opportunities for samopomich, no endorsement of parties intended, self-help. Senior scholars, and I really salute you, from the three countries of the region, along with their colleagues and contemporaries in Europe and North America, reviewed applications in the selection process. They attended annual meetings to hear about the works in progress of grant recipients. It was an amazing experience. One of the first meetings was held here in Lviv. In our earlier incarnation, we were the Lviv Theological Academy, and along with the Ivan Franko National University, in the presence of such inspired and inspiring people like the late Solomia Pavlichko, who just overflowed with enthusiasm at the success and development of others, we set out on this journey. The convention at which we meet today is historic. It is a gathering of academic communities, an international and interdisciplinary gathering, at a time when many are afraid to come together or work hard to pull people apart. The first of its kind in this corner of the world, because it's organized by two sister federations, the Association of Slavic, East European, and Eurasian Studies, and it's good to repeat it so that by the end we can all name and thank our conveners, and the Міжнародна Асоціація гуманітаріїв. North America and the eastern marches of Europe discuss and debate together, united for a scholarly purpose, to pursue knowledge on the region, in the region. This knowledge is crucial for our critical times. We welcome you most warmly from the US, from Canada, from the countries of the European Union, all those that want to join it and all those that want to step out. We welcome especially colleagues from Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine. Some of you, many of you, attended the early humanities program, whether in Lviv or in Minsk or Petersburg, Kyiv, Moscow, Kharkiv, Rostov-na-Donu. Reflecting on this past, we walk forward into this conference with questions that hopefully will find new answers. What should we do next? It's good to hear that foundations already trust us. We will have problems in a dramatically changing world. We will find ourselves frequently on unsteady ground. Globalization, migrations, economic displacement, and social instability will put under question what will happen tomorrow. However, it is so much easier to face these questions and challenges when we have a fundamental sense of our identity. When we have a sense of integration. And integration comes when people come together. Anjay's encouragement about communication style might seem a little too basic. But behind it stands, first of all, good experience about problems faced in such contexts, but even more importantly, the fundamental desire and inspiration behind this whole movement, which has led so many people to work so generously, to bring people together. It is very important for us to be able to meet each other, to hear each other, to dialogue, to listen well, and to integrate all of that. In this community, as you will see in some of the materials that you have received, we seek to witness, to serve, and to communicate. It is an incredible honor for the Ukrainian Catholic University to host such witnesses, such service leaders, and such impresarios of communication across difficult barriers and borders, across disciplines, across continents. I hope that you will be encouraged by your stay at this university. Just 22 years ago, there was nothing here. For the first 12 years, all of our students studied in unaccredited programs. In 2012, the Minister of Education sought to close this university. Its faculty and students were in the front lines of all the battles for human dignity, rights, and justice. We were tiny. We still represent about 1% of the student body in this great city. In 2001, I was threatened with deportation in a veiled way. On television, it was said, rectors of universities whose students participate in unsanctioned meetings, if these rectors are American citizens, will be subject to deportation. On February 20th, 2014, one of our fellows, Bogdan Solchanik, a faculty member of UKU, took a bullet to the heart on the Maidan. A great enthusiast of the humanities, a student in the programs of Yezha in Warsaw, again showed with his 100 colleagues, the Heavenly 100, that witness and martyrdom change the world. You can do it. We can do it. We've done a lot together on this road and on this pilgrimage. May God bless these days and these hours, the encounters that have been so graciously prepared for us by the organizers. Anjay, thank you for everything. And may these days fill our hearts with new enthusiasm to be together, to work together, and to continue what indeed is a mission that is possible. Thank you.